And now a quick word from our sponsor. Anchor. It's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor. It will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Do it to it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Taters and Ribs Wrestling Podcast. Tonight, our very special guest, Bobby Gardner, joins us, and we talk about the life and times of a pro wrestling referee. Welcome everyone to the Taters and Ribs Wrestling Podcast. Hold on. How long you been working for Pure Pro?
Going about 7.5 years.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I've been knowing Jimmy about a decade now. Now, I've seen a lot of guys go through there, too. Of course, I don't go to every single show like I want to, but
Right.
I've seen Adam Page, Justin Flash, Lewis Moore. I can name a handful, more than a handful of them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I worked with Adam Page a couple times, man. And, just see where Adam's at now, man. I tell you, it's good to know that, stick with it and keep on working hard. And, you say this is a business where, it goes back to, I'm not going to use the old gay sentiment, but I'll use it. It's not who you know, it's who you blow, basically. It's, I'm glad to see him, real talented guy, Adam Page. And then I seen the Wyndham, you remember, what was his name? The work with Jimmy there was Wyndham.
I can't think of his first name, but I know who you're talking about. It's been a few years since I've seen him.
Jesse Wyndham.
Yep.
Yeah, he came through there, and then of course he got married, and like I said, Jimmy says a lot of guys, they get them a woman, and then they all done hard to be in the business, and work spots to do this, and home mains and all this stuff, and all that, and then the next thing you know, when they get that woman, which I'm not knocking, I'm just saying that when they get that woman, that you find out how much they love the business and how much they were talking bullcrap,
Oh yeah.
But man's got to do what he's got to do. Goddamn women, you can't live with them, and damn sure can't live without.
I tried to get in it. I'm still with the same woman I was before then. I just, I had some unforeseen circumstances and had to move quite far away. And back then, we didn't have the internet like we do now, and
Right.
And now I'm just too beat up to even try it. I got 4 kids, and I'm glad this podcast came along so I can still show my love for the business and stay a part of it somehow.
Hey, I'll do it even if it cripples me.
I hear you, bro. I hear you. And that's, the mindset of a lot of guys, man. It's just, people say, well, why y'all, the other week when I got busted open in Chatham, but the inadvertent court, Montgomery threw the chair over the corner and had no idea I was in any corner. And went to swing the chair, and bam, it hit me. I just happened to be working up on the apron, sliding in the ring. And next thing I know, I look up and here's a damn a folded chair going about 120 coming at me. Why do you do that if it hurts you and you get hurt? I said, man, if you got to ask that question, then you don't understand you don't have the understanding or the mentality to be into this. Because it definitely takes a special person, to do it, And the guy said, well, I don't know if it's special or dumb. I said, well, it don't make no difference how you look at it, Special ed, dumb, it don't make no difference, whatever. But, it's, it's at least I'm doing what I love to do, and thanks to Jimmy Love and Boogie, Jimmy Dragon, I was afforded the opportunity to do it, because Jimmy had a show going on, and I was just there setting the ring up years back, and he come to me with a damn credit card and said, go get you a pair of pants and a referee shirt, man. I need a referee. And I said, who? And he said, you. And I said, no, man. And I said, I don't believe I do good at that, man. I don't do good for people. He said, oh, man, with your personality and, you'll be fine. I said, yeah, it's a difference between 5 and 10 people and, walking out, being in the ring, doing something you haven't been used to doing. And he said, well, man, as much as I've heard you talk about wrestling, the knowledge you got about it, this, that, and the other, he said, you'll be fine. So I went ahead and went and got it, came back, and got dressed. Went out there for the first match. I thought I was doing one match. I come back to the back, and he said, what are you doing back here? And I said, that was it, right? He said, no, man, you got the whole show. I said,
oh, wow.
Yes. And he said, man, go, you got to get back at that. And then, here it is, been doing it ever since,
So, did you have to just get out there and wing it that night, or did you have any kind of game plan, or how'd that come about?
No, I just had to get out there, and of course, the guys would let me know the deal, and I've had a man checking them that when they come to the ring after they've been introduced and stuff, they give me the lowdown, but basically just winged it, man, and got in there, and at the end of the night, I was tired as hell, obviously, and went to the back, and a bunch of the guys, when I went through the curtain, all the guys that was still in there stood up and clapped, and acknowledged, the good job that I did, that they told me I did, and I said, well, I appreciate it. And they said, man, one dude called Jimmy, it's Jimmy Parker, and it was Jimmy Parker and Mark James and somebody else that used to be with them. I can't remember who it was, but it was Corey or somebody. They said, how long you been doing this, man? And I said, 2 hours. Yeah. And he said, bullshit. I said, no, really. And he said, he looked at Jimmy Parker, and Jimmy Parker said, yeah, man. He said, yeah, he said it too. And he said, man, I would thought you had been doing it for a few years now, man. He said, do you have any formal training or anything like that? I said, no, sir. I said, I guess tonight was my OJT. And he said, well, excellent job, And of course, Jimmy, he pulled me to the side and talked to me real appreciative and all that. So, I wanted to do it when he asked me, but at the same time, I was, I guess, stage fright, or what you going to call it, But, it's, you said, well, it ain't real hard to do. Just get in there and, just count three, man, no matter what. Just, count three. If the guy don't kick out or whatever, that's on him,
Oh,
so, ever since, and of course, it gets a little bit more complicated than that, as y'all know. But, I have a lot of people, fans come to me now and say, that job you got referee, man, it looks fun, but it also don't look that hard. And I said, yeah, you can say that from where you're sitting on the outside of that rail, especially on the shows that when you go to the ring on the first match, and when you look at the card before you go out, you only got the first, third, and fifth match. And then after the first match, he sends somebody to the ring and says, just stay in the ring. The other ref didn't show. You got all the matches.
Worked you to death that night.
Man, I tell you, of course, and then ever since then, some shows, I realize things happen. I tell Jimmy, I don't mind doing it at all. It's just, I like to be kind of prepare my mindset, and have some kind of idea if I'm going to have to do the whole show.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
That's a lot of work, man. Barely get a drink of water and...
Yeah, I mean, cause you figure by the time that match is over and I raise your hand, and I get out of the ring, grab the towel out and face off my head, the whole ball head off. I ain't got no hair to catch the sweat, so I got to wipe it off. And by the time I get me a sip of water and do that, they introduce me the next people coming to the ring, and then back to back, and then you got like depending on where you at, a 15, 20 minutes intermission, sometimes longer, 30 minute intermission, and then it's right back to it, back to back to back to back.
Oh, yeah.
So,
People think referees got it made, but man, they work just as hard as the boys do. You know, they are the boys. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, man. You know, getting down. People say, well, you know, all you doing is getting down and doing a 2 count and back up, getting down doing a 2 count and back up, whatever. I said, yeah, you stay out of those guys' way and remember what's going on. Plus, keep got to get out of the corner, got to do this, got to do that, to do my part, and you keep up with all that, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And then, at the end of the match, you tell me whether you're out of breath or not.
Oh, yeah.
You probably won't be able to tell me because you're going to be out of breath.
Oh, yeah, that's some hard work.
You're listening to the Taters and Ribs Show.
We are experiencing technical difficulties.
Yeah, we lost Adrian for a minute, but we're back.
Our string come untied from our tin can.
Adrian, we're talking about the how hard he works. When he's working the entire show by himself. You probably missed a little bit of that.
Yeah, I probably did.
It's physically draining, and then as far as mentally, having to keep up with night switch, and of course you ain't got to be the sharpest knife in the drawer anyway, but it's still, it's real easy to get a match finish or something confused with another match, but for the most part, every guy that you work with, you've even the guys that I've only worked with a couple times, they real good about letting me know what I need to know when I need to know it. So the guys in the back and the young guys coming through, they get in the back and I see them stay in the back, spend an hour and a half going over a 8-minute match, and they forget half of it when they get to the ring. And then like Ricky Morton said, Ricky Morton said, how you call a match? He said, when the match starts. And he said, well, what do you mean? He said, you in the ring? Yeah. He said, well, damn, you are damn road scholar there, ain't you, House? He said, the best way to do it is in the ring. He said, because there's 0% chance of you forgetting, something, and when you do it that way. If you're in the back and going over a match for an hour and 15 minutes before the match even scheduled to take place, you forget something somewhere down the line, So, it's Ricky Morton. He's a damn hoot to work with too. I'll tell you, man. He's they still getting it too, boys. I've seen there him and Robert gonna be on AEW, something like that, coming up here.
Yeah, and they also won the NWA Tag Championship. It ain't been aired yet, but it's been it's recorded. So
I seen what they won. Yeah,
that should be on YouTube in the next couple of weeks for sure.
Right. Yeah, I've done quite a few shows with Ricky and Robert, and them, the Barbarian and Warlord. Of course, Animal from the Road Warriors and Highland Soul Off. I did Lewis Moore's shows in there with the Ivan Co-op Memorial Tournament. You wouldn't believe some of the guys that you run into and that you would never believe that you'd end up having a chance to even run into them. Period. That's end up doing a show with them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I completely marked out when I got to meet Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson, and Tracy Smothers.
Oh, I bet.
I completely marked out. I was like, oh God.
That's how I was with Tommy Dreamer, man. And I helped. Y'all gonna kill me for this, but I helped. I believe it was Jimmy's first Rocky Mount show ever. I helped set the ring up, me and my boy, and we helped tear it down. I didn't realize that was Boogie Woogie there in that trailer until we were tearing the ring down. And I could have slapped myself upside the face for that.
Hey, so you was going in and out of the trailer and didn't even know who it was.
Yeah.
I wonder if we could somehow possibly book Jimmy Valiant.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he'll come to. He'll do anything you want to do. You got the cabbages, man.
Yeah, I acquired a book to Tonka, but he wanted about $250.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He's, and man, I'm not knocking his. That's his deal. You know, that's what he's been doing the past 50-some, 60-some years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But,
We got the cheddar.
Yeah, but I'm saying something like this. You know, I think that might be, for speaking for myself, I might be a little, astronomical. But hey, like old Ted DiBiase used to say, everybody's got a price.
That's right.
But
one day maybe when we're like as big as Conrad Thompson, but right now we're just a little startup thing, and we've done we've done maybe 15 shows and we ain't made $10.
I hear you, bud.
But we ain't doing it for the money though, man. We just love wrestling, man. Yeah, that's how it goes.
That's right. Yeah, you gotta have like Jimmy Love says all the time. You tell the guys, they show up, you just that and the other, standing there after the show's over, and they, don't want to go and help turn down this, that, and the other. So first of all, you need to get up off your ass and go grab a piece of that ring and put it on my trailer. First of all. Second of all, you got to realize, man, that if you're doing this for the money, you're doing it for the wrong damn reason, dog. Because a lot of us, ain't going even remotely even come close to being rich, off of this. But the old hot dog and handshake deal, and the guys don't realize, when you're there and the show's over and you're standing around. Ladies standing over your finger up your ass and watching somebody else do the work. That don't look too good on you. Some of the guys in the business to you be standing there watching people work, and doing what's considered to be part of what I'm doing indie wrestling. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's and some guys just don't get the concept. They want to get in there and train, get there early and get there right after you finish setting up the ring, and then they want to get in there and train, and then they want to get in the ring, of course, during the show, and then after they get their little spots in during the show, they get amnesia and forget that part of it is tearing down and packing out.
Oh yeah.
So that's another thing on me, as far as not taking my own horn, but, I get there sometimes at 1:30, 2 o'clock and set up everything, tighten the ropes, make sure everything's right, let them train, do whatever else Jimmy needs to do at that time frame. They get out of the ring training, check the ropes, check the ring over again, get ready for the show, do, in some cases, the whole show or 4 or 5 matches in the show, and then come right out of the main event, go right in the back, grab a bottle of water, take my clothes off, change clothes, throw my tennis shoes on and some shorts, and right back out and packing out. So it's not just a referee. It's
that's a whole
lot more to it now.
You got to respect when you got an old school guy, and I've only seen this a handful of times at shows I've been at.
Right.
That's made a whole lot of money in the business. Been on national TV, pay-per-views. They're working the indie show, and they'll still stay and help tear the ring down. I've seen that a couple times. There's not many of them. I believe Tommy Dreamer's one of them.
Right.
You got to respect that.
I've seen Jericho. It shows him pitch in. Of course, it just depends on who it is, as far as whether they got time. A lot of them push for time. They're trying to get out and drive back to wherever they're from or whatever, instead of laying over or whatever, and that's understandable. But the younger guys have got to understand. Them guys have been in the business for 15, 20 years or more. They've earned the right to do that. You ain't been in the business a damn hot 3 months or a year, and you think you can you're afforded the same respect and decency things as they are, when you ain't even been in there long enough to be able to lace their boots up.
Oh yeah, It's called paying your dues.
Yeah, absolutely. And some people, they come in there and they want to, they just want to shine. They don't want to help put somebody else over, or they don't want to hear anything about anything like that. They just want to hear what they can get in and how good they can look. And, you got to be able to know that you look across the ring and the guy that you're working deserves just as much of the limelight as you do, regardless of his skill level or whatever. You can respect that, and you just can't go out there and shine and then be over with. You got to be willing to, get yours in, and in the same token, you got to be able to eat something too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, some people just ain't brought up that way, I guess, man. I couldn't do it. If I'll tell you what, if I'm at a Pure Pro show and I don't have my 4 kids with me, I'm gonna stay around and help tear the ring down, and that's just for being in the crowd. And I bought a ticket.
Right.
I love it, man. And but if I have my kids with me, man, we're usually 45 minutes an hour away now, and I got a 3-year-old with me and all the way up to a 12-year-old. So by the time the show's over, man, they're just throwing a fit.
Oh yeah. Anytime you go to a show when you do that, man, just know appreciate it. The guys helping me tear down, pack out, or whatever the case may be, man. We appreciate it. Sometimes we don't have time to stop and tell you, or you might leave before we get a chance to tell you. We definitely appreciate it, man. It don't go unnoticed, but sometimes we just don't have time enough to catch up with you and tell you, thank you stuff. It damn sure helps us out, man, and means a lot to somebody, like I say, you come buy a ticket and still, just because you love the business and you know how the business goes, you're still willing to help pack out. You know what I mean? It's pretty respectful.
Yeah, I told a guy at the RWA show, I had my kids with me. We were, hour and a half away from home. By the time that show was over, we had to go. But the next time I'll come if it's just me or my oldest son, we'll stick around and help tear the ring down. I wish I'd have done it then because, someone like Tommy Dreamer I looked up to as a kid. And I love some ECW back in the 90s. But, yeah.
I still say that you should have let Tommy Dreamer take a kendo stick to your back.
I got a picture, something like that.
Yeah, you should at least put a couple kendos to the back.
Oh, yeah.
Hell, take one for the team, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I was supposed to, like I say, in Saturday night before, in Yanceyville, Ivan Ali put Court through that table, and then picked him up and did it again. And when he did it the second time, when the table broke, it come flying out from under Court, and the edge of the damn table hit me right in the side of the knee. I bent it, to the left the way it don't bend, and I had every intention. I got booked a room down in regional stuff. I went back to the room, and iced it, and took a shower and all that stuff, and I popped it up and had every intention. The next morning, we were doing the show, and got up, couldn't even hardly walk. I had to cancel, but I worked with Jillian quite often.
Oh yeah, very nice guy. He gave me his card, and I'm gonna try to get him to come on the show if he ever gets some free time.
Yeah,
he a busy man.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll come on. Have you ever thought like Bobby Wright or Crash Cassidy or any of the guys like that on the show?
Oh yeah. Hold on, give me 1 second here. There's a handful of guys from RWA and Pure Pro I'd like to get in touch with. I talk to some of them a lot on Facebook, man. I tell you, that Facebook's work wonders when it comes to meeting people.
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of people I look back on there and people will comment on it, and I'll say, man, I'm friends with him or something or whatever. I like Marie. I said, where'd I meet him at? And then of course she's not quite as busy as I am, but she showed stuff like this. She said, well, you met him such and such, and whatever, you've been friends with him for a while. And I said, man, sometimes you meet so many people at a show or you show yourself running together, but you're right. Facebook and social media, man, you end up, especially in the wrestling circle, you end up meeting quite a few people.
Oh yeah, there's like a few like I want to reach out to. I'm gonna just say their names on here. If they say no, it is what it is. But like the Gorilla Squad, Chris TNT Taylor, Sin Crowley. The kids love him. Some kids love them some Sin Crowley.
That's right. Yeah. It's just like I'll be right. People like that. Just different one. Crash Cassidy. Old Spudway, man. I tell you what, man. He's still he's been in there for a long time. Just as long as Jimmy in there, he's still getting in there and pulling right up, you know.
We had Jimmy Parker on a month or so ago, man. I tell you what, he's probably the best heel I've seen at an indie show in a long time.
Oh yeah, man! I tell you what, I love working with Jimmy Parker. When I first met him, man, I got to do back when he was with Mark James, you know, and the Brutes, and I was informed I had a match, and I went up and introduced myself, this, that, and the other. I said, let me know what's going on, stuff, and they said, we'll get with you. And so I just kind of meandered all off and went and did what I had to do. And right before we was going through the curtain, he said, oh yeah, buddy, finish this. I'm going to throw such and such, the people at the station, in the corner. They're going to pull you in, flash, this, that, and that. And you're going to go to what's that? You got to get up and you're going to turn around, and the guy's going to grab you and pull you in front of him, and I'm going to hit you with a spear, and that's how it's going in. I said, you going to hit me with a what? And he was coming from Jimmy Parker. It's like, telling me you're going to hit me with a damn Mack truck.
Yeah, it's a big dude.
He couldn't have won any better. He, just the talent he's got and the experience and all that, and the knowledge he has of this, being second generation wrestler, and Mark James the same way. They take what they do serious. I've seen some guys at the shows, they carry those wrestling belts, heavyweight championship belts and stuff, and be standing there with them at the rail and stuff. And one guy in my belt one time told Mark James, said, yes, I ought to get in there and wrestle for this belt. He said, well, number one, you ain't gonna get nowhere that I don't let you get in. He said, plus, I wouldn't thumb wrestle you for that belt you got thrown over your shoulder. He said, because it's a gimmick belt, number one. Number two, it don't mean a thing in the world to me. And the boys said something smart to him, so I kind of had to get in between them and separate them a little bit. And I could tell Mark was getting heated, so Mark stepped up on the apron and said, well, come on, step through the ropes right now. Let's just go ahead and get this match out of the way. It won't take long. And I'll take that little candy laced belt you got right there from you. And you went back and forth. And the guy, when Mark was leaving the ring after the match, with the guy he was working, the guy said, go back there and tell Sid Carter that all the stuff you've been telling me. He said he's the one that's training. So Mark went to the back and said, he said the guy out there running his mouth to be training. He said, if that's the case, you need to do a little better job and explaining to him that, you don't talk disrespectful and do some of the things he was saying up there, being trained by somebody that's in the business, like they're throwing your name around. And Sid said, I didn't train him with nothing, and the guy, is not up the belt. He worked with him a little bit, but he didn't actually train him, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, but Mark James that night, he was ready to stomp a mud hole in that dude's butt and walk it dry. I mean, it was, of course, I ain't no big guy anyway, but it was all I could do to hold him back.
Right.
And a couple of the other guys come over there from security that don't know him that well and tried to hold him back by putting their hands on him. And they said, guys, I'm going to say this one time on. Get your hands off of me before you cause me to put my hands on you. And I had to tell the guys after he went to the back, I said, look, man, most of the guys in the business, if you've never worked with them before or whatever, it's a no-no putting your hands on them, but whether you're just trying to do the security thing or help out some way, shape, or form, that's a good way to get your hell knocked out.
Oh, yeah.
What I'm saying? a lot of guys, could have been somebody like Manny Fernandez or some people, Greg Valentine or somebody like that, coming up through the years, you put your hands on them like that, they gonna make you pay for putting your hands on.
Oh, it'd beat the shit out of you.
I can imagine Valentine, man. I seen him down at Winston-Salem, at the band, Rapid-Cody, whatever it was.
Uh-huh.
And he come walking up the steps, and I said, damn, I told Jeff Bryant, it looks like Greg Valentine. He looked, he said, it is. And he come walking up to there, and Jeff said, Mr. Valentine, can I get you an autograph? He said, boy, you standing between me and the bar, and I wouldn't advise you to do that. He said, so you might want to move away a little bit to the right. And as far as the autograph, you lose that when you lose that chance when you stop me and help me up and getting me something to drink. So get the hell out of my way, boy.
I hear he's about as tough as they came, too.
Yeah, I mean, and he went there and sat down beside Magnum TA. Of course, Magnum TA was on that thing you rides around, and he said something to Magnum, and Magnum kind of shook his head and looked at us, shook his head and walked, drove on out of the bar there. And he come back Jeff, he said, what'd he say to you, man? He said, it ain't what he said. He said his breath when he said it. He said he smelled like he'd been eating a shit sandwich without the bread. But I met, over the year, Rob Van Dam and Chris Benoit, Sting, Eddie Guerrero. I was with Eddie Guerrero, let's see, 2 weeks before he died. He was in Roanoke. WWE was coming through there then, WWF coming through there then. And he was at 96.3 with the studios off of Brandon.
Yeah.
And he was over there doing a piece, promoting the show and everything. And we got to talking about OxyContin, about how his injuries and this, that, and the other, and about how he had some addiction problems and this, that, and the other. And he actually looked pretty good then. And it was kind of a real shocker. A week and a half, 2 weeks later, to hear that he'd been passed away. But he has an experience in itself to sit down and listen to him tell wrestling stories about like Ricky Morton. Just to sit down and be able to not just share the same ring with him in a match, but to sit down in the back and listen to all the stories and the history over the years that he's been a part of. Kind of blows your mind.
Oh yeah, and he come from one of the biggest wrestling families, of all time, especially down in the area. They're from El Paso and down in Mexico. I hear Chavo come on the radio and not the radio, but different podcasts and tell stories all the time. Right.
Yeah, I tell you, Benoit and the Giant. She was at the Marriott in Roanoke, and my friend Tommy Nance and myself was upstairs playing pool. And here comes Sting, Benoit, Giant, and who else was it? Somebody else was, the Steiner brothers were with them. So they come up there and said, y'all want to play some partners? And I said, yeah, I'll take Sting. And Tommy said, well, Benoit said, well, I just said, leave him with you. What's your name, buddy? So he told him his name, Tommy. And the guy come running up the steps about halfway through the game and dove on the pool table. This is back, but when he first came to WCW.
Yeah.
And he dove on it, and pool balls went everywhere, dude. And man, what you doing, you big dumb son of a bitch? And he said, calm down a little, man. He took his big old power head, and tapped Benoit on the head. He said, calm down a little, man. And Benoit grabbed his hand and jerked it off his head and smacked his hand. Told him, man, said, just cut your dick, don't mean I'm scared of you. And he said, like I should, calm down, little man. And he said, you got one more time to call me little man. And about that time, here comes Scott Steiner. He stepped in between them. And, but it just blew my mind that here I am about to see them two fight the wheel in the Marriott of a game of pool that I'm playing with Sting, partner with Sting and Chris Benoit. And that's that time they looks down railing, how you can look out over the ball, and he started going, and Scott, man, get the hell, man, you dumb, That's right there. Now, the Medusa was there, Arn Anderson, Chris Jericho, Montgomery Michaels, yeah, I mean, a bunch of different, the old school, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Hawk and Alma was there. I never forget, I moved Stone Cold to another team center, and he backed the door come up, and we come with them, Dodge Intrepid backing out of the back of the Civic Center, backwards as fast as we go in reverse. And I jumped out of the way, and we come over that little hump where we could be at the Civic Center, and we happened to be a cutting trailer there with where the trailer dropped, went back too far, and the glass of the Intrepid hit that in front of that trailer, where the trunk went up underneath the trailer out the window.
Yeah.
And busted the window out in the back of the car, and Stone Cold looked around at everybody and said, oh well, that's what you get insurance for, and started up a beer and flew it and took off. And when I got to the Marriott, that Valley Park spot, Stone Cold and pulled it up there in front of the Marriott and got out and threw the keys to the guy at the parking and just left, of course, glass and everything everywhere. And the people said, "Can I get your autograph this time?" And he just, he head down, went straight in there, and I don't think he even come to the bar that night. But I'm sure he had plenty of beer in his room. But the Jim Shamrock, when I do him, of course, I did a show, British Cigar Root Cake, what's his name? Shane's out of course, and, then I do a lot of shows for Bruiser and at Bruiser Wrestling Federation. Just worked with Maestro here a few weeks ago down in Spare. Remember him from WCW?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's really nice guy.
He was there back in their later days, back towards the late 90s.
Yeah, back when Buff and all of them was first, coming in, and it was, who was the gang he run with?
The woman that ran with him. I can't remember her name. The Maestro and Adrian. Let's ringing a bell.
Not off the top of my head, but I have the internet right square in my pocket. I'll look it up.
Yeah. Damn, man, I can't remember who used to be there. But anyway,
it was Symphony or Symphony or something like that, if I remember correctly. You
are correct. It's Symphony.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just thought of that. Wow.
Hey,
hey, sometimes a shot in the dark is the most accurate.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. Sometimes you hit a bull in the ass with a race fiddle.
Hey man, I grew up with this, man. I watched wrestling on TV religiously to probably from 91 to today.
I do.
Minus a few periods where I didn't have cable, but that didn't last very long.
Right. Yeah, I wish I could have been. I mean, I'm thankful that I've been afforded the opportunity that I have been afforded now. Doing the wrestling for so long, but I would have loved to have been able to back in the day. Of course, when I was a whole lot younger, obviously, and then back in the day, we'll be able to work with a lot of these guys, Flair, Steamboat, and, all those guys back in the day. It was, the Midnight Express and Jim Cornette and all those guys, I'd love to been able to break both of the business back then.
Oh, for sure. As teed off and, as crazy as stuff Jim Cornette says, man, he's just an encyclopedia of knowledge, man, and when it comes to wrestling. And, man, I probably respect him just about as much as anybody else. He's out there, but, man, he knows what he's talking about.
Absolutely. He knows how to do it.
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, he knows how to block, he knows how to do, storylines, you know what I'm saying? He's just a wealth of knowledge, you know what I'm saying? I can see why he went so far from, starting out, coming into business as just a simple photographer.
Yeah.
And then, and then going to the heights that he went.
He's been a promoter, a booker. He's gotten in the ring, taking bumps. One of the probably top 10 managers of all time, in my opinion.
Top 3.
Oh, yeah. Easily.
Because I mean, but he still doesn't hold a candle to the likes of Percy Pringle and Bobby Heenan.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you know, those guys were just phenomenal in their own right. You know, as far as just the different times of coming through. You know what I'm saying? The people they was working with. You know.
Oh yeah.
I remember back Paul Jones when he transitioned from wrestler into being a manager and stuff. You know what I mean? You know, and he transitioned from wrestling right into managing pretty daggone good.
And now a word from another sponsor. Turf Unlimited, LLC. Serving the Martinsville, Henry County area. Now's the time to be thinking about your lawn over the winter. Do you want it to stay dormant? Or would you like it to stay green and healthy during this cold season? Now's the time to be thinking about Winterizer. We start our applications mid-November through December. You can contact us at facebook.com/turfunlimited, turfunlimitedllc@gmail.com, or give us a call, 276-226-3829. Turf Unlimited, there for all your lawn and garden needs.
With the Mass Superstar, and he had, I can't remember all the people that he managed, but, you know, Cobalt, Simpson, too.
Oh yeah, a good one is that manager who became a wrestler, pretty late in life too, Diamond Dallas Page, man, that was just impressive what he done.
Absolutely, yeah. I gotta go on with that. For him to just come in and start working like that in the ring, you know, from what he had been doing, he definitely had what they call the it factor, as far as, you know, just being able to go over, like a guy I heard talking about Ricky Morton. You know, Ricky Morton, he just go over. I think it was Ron Anderson was talking about it. Back in the day, you know, you work for Ricky Morton, and you go to Laney Beach to Ricky Morton, and you got the people wanting to try to kill you and get at you and throw shit at you and everything else, you know, because, you know, it was just that over, you know.
Yeah, I've heard a whole lot of people say Ricky Morton was the best worker in the business.
Yeah.
I've heard that from a lot of people.
Yeah, and Robert, I mean, Sam was working his own right too. It was just, you know, they just had two different styles, and one was very boisterous and opinionated, and you know, said what was on his mind. And Robert, he didn't do a whole lot of talking. He let his you know, wrestling do the talking, you know, in most cases.
Oh yeah, done a whole lot of bumping.
But Ricky, you know, Ricky would get the shit beat out of him for 45 minutes, and then here come Robert.
Oh yeah.
Get your pen. But hey, you know, that's just part of it, you know.
Well, hey, they made it to the Hall of Fame, man, and they're still running world champions right now, or soon to be world champions, as far as the record goes. So, yeah, man, and they're in their 60s. They gotta be.
Yeah, they're in their 60s, and you know, I haven't been a chance to go down to his school yet. He's been inviting me, I don't know how many times, to come down and referee some matches at his school, but just hadn't had the time and opportunity to do it, you know, for having free time. But I definitely want to put that on my bucket list to go down there and get the school out and do all that stuff. And just said, like I had to sit around all day long and just tell story after story after story.
We know Jimmy don't want to lose a workhorse like you.
Yeah, I tell you, it's you know, I had a pleasure working with everybody I've had a chance to work with, from the local guys to the guys that's been in the business, Hall of Famers, and such as Boogie, and all the different ones that I've been afforded the opportunity to work with. You know, it's just been a dream come true, you know, to be able to do it, you know, and to be so shy when he asked me, you know, to do it, and so we left him to do it when he first asked me. And now I look back and I say, damn, I can't believe I said, I was thinking about not doing,
Oh,
but it's just, just like anything else you do, you got the love of something, and like you said, you watch wrestling from many years, and when you're a fan and you afford to do something that's in that particular business that you're a fan of, it's just you're pretty lucky. And whether I get to do WrestleMania or anything like that, it ain't about all that. It's about just being able to humble yourself enough to know and get in there and be able to say that you was good at what you did, you took pride in what you did, you was a hard worker, and earned people's respect, and you gave respect and you got respect at the same time,
Oh, for sure, man. And I gotta say, referees don't get the credit they deserve, man, because they're just as big a part of the show as the wrestlers are. And you're taking you're getting injured and putting your own health at risk. And I don't know. I just think a lot of people take the referees for granted. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. There's been shows here, and it first happened. I don't know, 15 years ago. The fans just took a liking to me right off the bat, and when I come out of the curtain, they'll either start going, Bobby, or whatever, or they'll just holler, whatever, and applause when I come through the curtain. And I went back to the curtain after I opened the show one night, and Jimmy said, "Come here a minute." And I said, "What did Jim?" He said, "Don't take this the wrong way." He said, "I don't mean to disrespect whatever." He said, "But when you went out the curtain, you hear that pipe you get when you go out?" I said, "Yes, sir." I said, "It makes you feel good." He said, "Yeah, it does, don't it?" He said, I'm happy for you to know that, that your fans like you, respect you that much, and, obviously like you as a referee." He said, "But it's a damn shame that when your referee goes to the curtain, your referee gets a bigger pop than 90% of the damn people you got working on the show." And I said, "Hey, I didn't set out for it to do." I said, "No, don't apologize." He just said, what I'm saying is, it's just, pat yourself on the back and just know that, you went from people not knowing who you was and complaining about your refereeing when you first started to till now, at most every show, he says, I hear, when you go out, I can tell when you're going out, when the show's starting, and then you gotta be looking, just by the crowd, pop when you go out. He said, just pat yourself on the back for working so hard and, remaining true to the business and keeping your nose clean and respecting the fans and at the same time doing your job, at the same time and earning their respect as well,
Oh, yeah, man. That's awesome.
People come and check on me after the shows, if I'm taking a bump or get taken on a chair or whatever case, however I get taken out, I got people, hit me up, and I ain't talking about, full time. I'm talking about, 15, 20, 25 people, 30 people that, 2 days after the show, calling and checking on you and asking if you're all right and stuff like that. Kind of build a relationship with the people, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Well, Pure Pro seems to be like that. I mean, dude, I've been knowing Jimmy for probably 10 years now, and I've seen a lot of fans back then still go to shows today, and they're all over the social media, talking to y'all guys. Y'all definitely got a dedicated, loyal following. That's for sure.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's for sure. And makes you feel good when you go around different places. And I've been to other shows like CWF and then for RWA and just different ones that I've worked for. Fans will come up to you and say, "You got referee from Good Pro, ain't you?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "By the time you come down here and referee down here." And I said, "Well, I appreciate that, but I'm sure y'all's referees are, well trained and do a good job at it." They said, "Obviously, you ain't been down here seen him, man." That ain't gonna knock on my fellas either,
Oh, yeah, that reminds me of the 90s, man, when you go to a live, like, WWF or WCW show, and before the show started, the crowd be chanting for the announcers at the top of their lungs, like Larry Zbyszko or, Jerry Lawler. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, you can't even hear the announcers at live shows, but they see them, and the crowd just went insane over them. That's pretty cool.
It's amazing how, some of these, and you got your different level of fans. You got the ones that no matter what you do, you're going to piss them off. And then, the ones that love the heels and the ones that love the faces and the whole 9 yards. And then you got the ones that's willing to stand outside the building wherever you're at and wait on you to come out to jump your ass and listen to 3 count or mess up or something like that, they costing their favorite, the belt or whatever the case may be, and people looking some of these people's eyes and, dude, take a breath. I mean, come on now. Come on back to reality about it.
Oh, yeah.
And, I can appreciate you getting into it and loving what we do and enjoying the show, but it's one thing to take it to that level where you actually want to put your hands on somebody after a show that that you just saw was what? A show.
Yeah, I don't like that at all, man. I'll tell you what, forget security. Just let the boys whoop some ass, and the fans will learn quick. You don't do that.
Yeah, I had a guy in there and tell him, the guy that hollers, the deaf guy, the black guy jumped up on the apron there at one time and got mad because the son of Salem got beat, and I counted 3, cost him, of course, they I think it was 10 with 10, and I counted 3 and did my job, but it was stimulating circumstances that caused me to do that, and he actually got so mad about it, he jumped up on the ring apron and got up in my face and actually touched me on the end of my nose with his finger.
Oh,
I had to push him off the ring apron, and of course the security guys grabbed him and they took him outside, and you couldn't really explain it to him because you can't hear it. You know what I'm saying? So, and he tries to talk to you, he's a mute-like, good guy, outstanding guy. I've come to know him, better over the years. But, people like that, one person sees somebody do that at an indie show, and then everybody thinks they can do it.
Yeah, no, I guess, man, some fans are just, what's the word I'm looking for? Uneducated. I guess they just think some people are truly heels. And,
right.
and it gets to them if they don't know the difference, But still, anything more than a handshake, that's just taking it too far, man. Y'all are already out there putting your bodies on the line, for our entertainment. So.
That's right. But I guess it would be called gullible. Don't be that damn, don't be that gullible if you know that I, would intentionally do anything wrong to any of those guys. You guys realize that you got a ticket to see a show and entertainment. So, at the end of the day, you got to be smart enough to, call a spade and just be happy with what you saw and go home and, hope the rest got different next time.
Oh, yeah. Well, when I was a kid, I'd yell at the bad guys and all that. But now, like, I don't remember if you refereed this match or not, but that steel cage match in Yanceyville with Sin Crowley and JR, where Jimmy Parker was the guest enforcer. Is that the match where he speared you?
No, that was Tim had that one. That's when he threw Tim out, and Jimmy come in and caused Tim the belt tonight.
Yeah, when that heel turn happened, I was rooting for Jimmy, man. I was in the crowd like, all right, man, this is awesome. Right. 15 years ago, I'd have been booing him up and out of the building,
Oh, yeah. That night, Jimmy Parker called me over to the edge of the cage. I was out there. I wasn't doing the match, but I was out there, and he came into the door, and he said, go tell Jeff Flowers to work around over there, and I'll get him when I go out of the building, right? So I went and told Jeff to quick. Jeff went down through there and got a little close, and I don't think he knew Jimmy was going to take his boot and hit him quite as hard. I was standing there beside Jeff, and every time Jimmy Parker broke through the pants, come over there real quick, and Jeff turned around. And when he turned around, Jimmy Parker took the heel of that damn Timberland boot caught Jeff right in the forehead with that damn, with the heel of that boot, and down on his ass, Jeff went, sliding backwards. And he put back on and Jeff said, well, what'd you let me rip it so damn hard there? I said, shit. I said, I didn't think he was going to rip me that hard, no. I said, shit, because I'm going to step in front of him swinging a damn Timberland boot, and it ain't my job. I said, I'm the referee. And he said, yeah, you're supposed to protect us. I said, I don't know about all that. I said, that damn, I was told that y'all two was doing a spot. And you said a damn thing about me being in the spot whatsoever.
That boot, yeah, when he hit him with that boot, I was standing right there, man, and they were probably 2 feet from me. When he swung that boot at him, man, I felt the wind from it.
Yeah, and when he hit him in the forehead, the damn heel of that boot hit him, I think,
yeah.
It was just the look on his face when he was landing on his ass and slid back against the ring, it was like, God damn.
My kid was there with me, so mad at Jimmy for that. I loved it. I was like, all right, you're finally experiencing a good heel turn. I love it.
Yeah. As far as the heel goes, man, I'm telling you, he definitely set the character. That's for sure. As far as start to finish, he don't back down from he sticks right to what he's supposed to be doing. Right down to ripping up little kids' signs and stuff. The kids get upset, but in the course the damn adults actually showed their ass over him and they all ripping up a sign more than the kids did.
That's a good thing though, because them kids want to come back next week to see him get his see his butt whooped, and that's not going to happen all the time. I learned that as a kid. I used to, I believe it was when Randy Savage turned on Roddy Piper in WCW and joined the NWO. I went to bed so mad, I was throwing things, ripping things up. Looking back now, it was awesome, but back then it really got to me. I was, I don't know, 11, 12 years old.
And back in them days, you talking about, I've seen my mom, God rest her soul, she loved wrestling to death, and then my grandma too. I've seen them get up, man, and be so mad at the damn TV, they throw their false teeth, their damn wigs, and damn TV. I've even seen them throw cups of drinks and popcorn, and pick up trash and want to hit Ric Flair and him, and hold down, all them up there and send him up,
Oh yeah.
But like you said, you can't get mad at them for. They don't get you they throw something on you, so you can't get mad at them because the when you be involved in it and being that mad, you got your job to piss somebody off that bad.
Yeah, that's all. I mean, you learn over time, but it's awesome when they're that good that make you suspend disbelief. Where you get into it that much.
Right.
It's awesome.
They can get you to cuss the TV out and throw shit at the TV. Say they pretty much doing their job.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I remember my grandmother throwing she had a glass of vodka and orange juice in her hand one night. I can't remember what match or what was going on, but I remember throwing that screwdriver against the wall. So mad, so pissed off.
Can I take a guess at what match that could have been? Or
Probably, yeah, go ahead.
It might not have been a match. I don't remember the details. Was it when Sting was kicked out of the Four Horsemen?
I don't know. That pissed my sister off.
Yeah, who'd you say? Sam, when he got through with fault?
Yeah, but that when Sting got kicked out of the Four Horsemen, that pissed my sister off.
Absolutely. Sting, I tell you what, that's another one, man, that come in with just natural charisma and just over right from the start. You know what I mean? From the Hollywood Barn to him evolving into singles wrestling and getting the push he did from Flair. Obviously, he's just again, one of those guys that just had the hit factor, just naturally over,
Oh yeah, it didn't matter what he did, man. Like his feud with Vader and all that. Probably wasn't the greatest TV at the time, but man, the people just loved it. I loved it. Now I'll go back and watch that pay-per-view. I think it was 1993. It's probably not the greatest thing I've ever seen. But back then, you know, watching it when it happened, man, it was good stuff.
Super Bowl 93.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the worst pay-per-views ever.
But it was good at the time, you know, to be the early 90s, you know.
Oh, yeah. You know, I never listened to Jim Cornette tell his stories about, you know, the guys, you know, doing this and doing that back in the locker room. And then, you know, he's got some, like you said earlier, he's just a wealth of damn history and knowledge and, you know, just wisdom of the business, man, just to listen to the stories. And you know, he had every show written down that he had something to do with, start to finish.
Yeah, he kept a journal. He sure did.
You know, and that's just amazing that he, you know, he still got those original copies of, you know, of the shows, the card, you know, from start to finish, and who's over and who's doing this, who's doing that, and it's, you know, and he's got some real good stories about, you know, the guys that he thought a lot of, and the guys that he didn't think so much of. But, you know, it is what it is, you know, just, you know, like he said, you know, you can't teach stupid.
Oh, but he could go back to 1986 or whenever and, you know, tell you the gate number and how much the company made off of ticket sales.
Absolutely.
And he was just working there as a manager.
Yep. He can tell you attendance, what time it started, what time it ended, who wrestled who for what belt, and, you know, just the whole 9 yards. You know, who did promos and you know, just it's just crazy. You know, I like listening to him tell stories of Dusty and all them. You know, giving certain people opportunities to do what they said they could do or what they claimed they could do. And you know, Jim Cornette said, you know, he would look at Dusty and say, "Man, don't do that." He said, "It's going to end up being like a monkey fucking a football." You know, and Dusty said, "We just got to give him a chance. Just got to give him enough rope to hang himself in it."
Yeah, a lot of people make fun of Jim Cornette. We've you know, we made a few jokes over the years, but man, he can go back in time to like the 1930s before his time and tell you all this stuff too, just from the research he's done. Honestly, we crack a joke about him here and there, but nothing but respect, honestly.
Oh yeah. I mean, for anybody to be able to you know, been the miles he's been and seen things he's seen and been involved in stuff he's been involved with, man, and you know, can pull it up, you know, in a moment's notice and give you the facts and figures of things that I have a hard time remembering for, you know, and I sit there and watch the whole pay-per-view or whatever it was and the whole show and remember half the damn show. And, of course, you know, I wasn't in it at the level he was either, but, you know, for him to be able to do all that stuff and travel and keep up with his stuff along with Midnight Express and everybody else and the whole show period, you know, and at the time, at certain times, he was over the Midnight Express for him being tag team champion, you know, and he still behind the scenes way bigger than you'd ever would have thought that he would have been involved.
Oh yeah.
You know, the referees. There's another referee to tell you about. I'm trying to think his name, Nick Roanoke, because he used to be in the WWE. And I can't think his name right now. He used to be in WWF.
Mike White. Shoot, there's a few that's retired. I can't think of them all.
No, young redhead boy. I worked with him a few times with Jimmy down at Danville's Cape Town, and I did Rocky Mountain show with him, I think, and another show somewhere with him. I have to get his name, get it to you. He'd be a good guy to get on here and pick his brain. You know, that gave some stories back from when he was working, you know, with
for sure.
Beck McMahon, and of course, you know, back when the Click, and of course, you know, all those guys, you know, who was it, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and all those, you know, he's got some stories about those guys, man. That and X-Pac and all them, and old China. You know, man, you know, just stuff that you know, that he had the privilege to say he was a part of. You know.
Yeah, and it, things like that. It was awesome when we had Sid Vicious on, man. He was telling us stories of Mark Henry literally eating a shit sandwich.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, I remember hearing something about that. Yeah, and then I heard who was it? Mickey Morton telling somebody that he walked in the locker room one time and seen one of the I can't remember the guy's name. Had another dude's union in his mouth, and he said, "What the hell's going on here?" Yeah, and they said, "You know, those are the times that you obviously remember them because you couldn't believe what you were seeing." And at the same time, you couldn't believe that he was a part of that scenario.
Being a referee, man, you ever have anyone try to play any ribs on you, or you ever get anybody else?
Say that again.
Did you ever have any of the boys try to like play any ribs on you, or have you ever gotten anybody, you know, any kind of crazy stuff like that?
No, you know, there's been a few times with guys that you know, we get some crazy ring and different things for it. You know, like they pulled Jimmy's trunk and different things like that, and you might not feel in a guy on something like that, and then they look up and of course has Jimmy's junk hanging right in his face. You know, something bad is gonna happen. But you know, just to look on the guy's face is like you know, there's nothing really, you know, to speak of. It was mostly on the guys in the ring. Now, they've got me a few times, quite a few times at different places. I've been going just different ways that they come at you and set you up for different things and introduce you to certain people or something, you know. And it would be they just turned it around and make you just look like a complete jackass. But you know, that's just part of. They said, well, if we didn't rib at you and didn't pick at you like that, you know, it means we didn't like you, you know. So, it's just, you got to, sometimes you just got to grin and bear it, you know.
Yeah, it's all part of the game, I reckon.
It's not being part of brotherhood. Like I say, it's just a big family anyway, you know. And the guys, you know, when you start the family thing and stuff like that, you know, I don't forget who it was, spoke up one time and said, yeah, we're a big family, all right, we're a dysfunctional family, but nevertheless a family, you know, and you're supposed to, you know, look out for your brother or your sister, and you know, whether it be a referee or, you know, a manager or whatever, you know, you know where that line is, and you don't, you know, cross as far as, you know, disrespect, and, you know, yeah, you rib and joke people and stuff like that, but when it comes to, you know, the business and holding up your end and being part of the family. The guys back in the day had it down. You know, as far as you know, also the NWA and all the WCW and different ones, Memphis Wrestling and stuff like that. They got it. But the new guys today, they just don't get the concept of the you know, they talk about being a family, but they don't got the commitment to the family, you know what I mean?
Right.
And the guys, you know, they just, again, they just let it shine, like Jimmy said, and, you know, it's a rare good, you know, and you'll see the ones that are in it for all the right reasons, and then you'll see the ones that fall up to the wayside that thought they was in it for all the right reasons, and when they, in reality, they was only in it to toot their own horn, and, you know, when they didn't get that to go over, they realized that they weren't as big as they thought they was, and you didn't hear from them no more.
Oh, too many people want instant gratifications and don't want to put in the years and the time that it takes to, you know, earn it.
Right. You know, I mean, it's just, you know, it's just like going into a job or a company. Obviously, you're going to go in and your place, your spot is in your company yourself. Much less going in and tell somebody else, you know. how to do that. It's the ones that come in and think they know it all and don't know to ask them on the ground, and they fuck up a damn, I like to say, fuck up a handle with a rubber mallet.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Come in there and it'd be the easiest match, and working with the most experienced, most easiest guy to work with in the ring. Just all you have to do is listen and do what you're told, and it'd be the easiest match you ever done in your life. And get in there and somehow or another, mess it up by not listening. And it's I don't know if it's being hard-headed or just being a dumbass or whatever. But those guys, they burn out pretty quick because they don't last long because they don't get the respect of the guys, and then of course the bookers, and then just different people with other promotions and stuff see how they acted, and they said, well, damn, please don't act like that at that promotion. How the hell we act over here?
Yeah, and they just don't want to book them no more. I mean, I've seen that. I've seen that in other professions too, man. Just like many jobs I've done over the years, the plumbing, landscaping, stuff like that, and they think they're going to go from one job to another for better pay, but when they're not doing right and they want instant gratification, that other guy's not going to hire them, or if they do, they're not going to last 3 months with them.
Right.
Same thing.
I mean, it's one thing to be eager and and want to do good and put your best foot. But to blatantly step over the line that you know that you shouldn't cross, and you end up doing it anyway, it ends up making you, it just making you look like you just the complete jackass, and you're in it for all the wrong reasons. Promoting yourself instead of promoting the business. When you self-promote like that, and promote the organization or the promotion you're working for, and you're more worried about promoting yourself, that's your first mistake.
Arn Anderson was on a podcast a week or so ago talking about a thing called the wrestler's handshake. If you know what that, where the rookies would come in and they shake the veteran's hand every single night, even though they did it last night, just as a sign of respect. Is that something that still happens, or does anyone do that anymore?
Yeah, I have from time to time, man. But it's just. But you already, somebody like myself or Jimmy or somebody can call it before it ever happens. You know what I'm saying? Just see a certain individual walk in and know that something's going to go south just because, simply because that individual's involved in, the show. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's bad to have a reputation when you walk into a locker room or something like that. The guys, that new kid, whatever, and that's not a good feeling to know. And the guys, they don't sugarcoat shit, they don't help whatever. They pretty outspoken, about somebody, and to know they feel that way about you, and you get out there and feel, mess up the food sandwich anyway. It don't say a lot of good things about you as a person,
You could tell a lot about somebody by the respect they show, the veterans and people who's been in here doing this for decades.
Absolutely. And if I was working somebody, a veteran, if I was Alaska or whatever, and was working a veteran, I'd be more than happy to put them over and do whatever they wanted to do. Why? Because they learned that right. But for you to go in there and just completely disregard what that veteran's telling you and this, that, and the other, just to get a little bit of shine, a little bit of heat in, disrespecting that veteran and disrespecting the business period.
Amen to that. Amen.
Sometimes it's if you look at yourself in the mirror, after the show's over and the lights are off and the crowds are gone, and you say, but damn, was that really called for? Did I really need to do that? Well, it's a little late to ask yourself that then. At that point, the damage is done then. And then come back and be real apologetic. I mean, it's that's like going to rob the bank and then going to tell the judge, well, Judge, I knew I was supposed to, probably shouldn't have did it, but I'm sorry. So don't give me the 10 years. Bullshit. I mean, it's just the mentality you have to have. It's a respect thing. It's people have been in the business, and that's what they've been doing, running up and down the roads, doing this thing back when you were still get Similac on your breath, and then you go all of a sudden come in and know everything about everything, and end up looking like you don't know anything about anything.
Yeah, I believe I heard Harley Race say something, on a YouTube thing years ago, back before his health took a bad turn.
Right.
If you came in, showed respect, worked hard in a match with me, and you showed me potential, I'll call the match, but I'm going to put you over, or I'm going to get you over. Putting you over and getting you over is two different things.
Right.
I'm going to get you over.
Yeah.
And he would, too.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen guys, try to get their heat in, a little bit of heat in, when it wasn't even called for any heat, for them to get any heat. And then, I've seen, even this day, guys, actually, get mad and, lay in a couple of good punches, to the jaw or the mouth or whatever to, bring you back to reality. You know what I'm saying? If you can't listen, you can feel. And then after the match, man, what'd you hit me for? Dude, if you got to ask that question, you might want to cover up because I'll probably get ready to hit you again.
Oh, you got to lay them in, man, because I swear, man, you can see it on TV and you can really see it there live, especially at a smaller indie show, man. If somebody ain't laying in a punch right, you can tell, and it just ruins the whole match.
Yeah, and I try to work with guys, of course, I'm a long way from knowing it all, and don't claim to know it all, but when I'm in the ring with them, sometimes I, give them direction and things like that about, where they're at in the ring, this, that, and the other, and what the crowd's doing, so forth and so on, and, come on, guys, pick it up, things like that, because, that's what I've been told to do by, my boss, so, like you said earlier, as far as the referee, he's kind of like the escalator of it, things starting to go south for the manager, so he's got to be able to turn it around and realize what they need to take it on home or whatever the case may be. Don't be afraid to tell them, look, I don't got the crowd, man, take it on home. Who are you? Well, I'm the guy that the boss told me to tell you to take it home as we went south. So if you got a problem with that, then you need to go take it up with him. But right now, you need to take it to put it on home. I would tell about a official to go ahead and take it on home, then I do exactly that. Who am I to question? Who am I to even know what he's been told to tell me? You know what I'm saying? So just go ahead and take it on home, like the man said, and then you can talk about it later in the back with the mandatory, to do that part of the job. I've had guys tell me, no, I ain't taking it home. And then get to the back and Jimmy said, man, Bobby, why don't you tell him to take it home? I said, Jimmy, you know better than ask me that. They said, so you say? I said, yes, sir. He said, all right, he turned away from me and he said, now you got it. Now the referee said, and he told you, you take it home, why the fuck did you take it home? I mean, he ain't out there just for shits and giggles, so, you got, use this as a learning experience, and, because it won't happen again. If he tells you to take it home again, and you don't take it home, you probably won't be working for this promotion no more.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll tell you, man, Jimmy's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, man, but, I mean, he's running a business, You gotta do what you gotta do.
If the crowd, you're there to get a pop from the crowd and keep the crowd into it. And if you're in there working and you've lost the crowd for whatever reason, and it might not even be you've lost it, but it might be dead, whatever. you still have to listen and do what you're told and take it on home. That way, you know, you don't leave a bad taste in your fans' mouth, and you don't leave, you know, a black mark on the show by bringing it down any further than what it is. And hope the next match going out can, you know, to bring it back up. It's not, you know, it's not about you. It's not about that particular match. It's about the karma and the flow of the whole show. You know, that's what guys get it messed up. Well, I didn't get to do this. I didn't get to do that. Look, dude, quit worrying about what you didn't get to do, what you got to do, or whatever you didn't get to do. Just worry about the whole product in the whole, and you know, it ain't no damn iron team. You know, so
That's
just,
right.
you know, get out there and for the betterment of the co-main or the main, or if you're the third match and you know you're keeping a lot of crowd, go on, take it out. You know, there ain't no shame in that. And, you know, because they might not even know, the fans might not even know why they're not extra too much. I realize that you did anything wrong, or whatever the case may be. It was not, you might not have done anything wrong. They're just not into it, you know, and then, you know, you roughing yourself up or whatever, this, that, and the other, when sometimes it's just like that, you know, it's a part of it. You got to know when to go ahead and listen and go on, take it home, and you know, call it a day and call a state, man.
That's
Get
right.
out of the way.
That's right. I mean, everyone wants to get over, man, but if it ain't working, it ain't working. At the end of the day, it's a business just like anything else.
Right? You know, like I said, ain't no iron team. You know, a lot of people, they come to the, you know, the English part now, as far as like from the setup, from time to get there to the time to tear down, you know, some guys are getting there like myself and doing anything you ask them to do that involves the show in any way, shape, or form. No matter how busy you are doing something else, you try to help out doing something else. And then some guys will look at you like you got 9 heads if you just ask them to deliver a message to somebody, you know, or whatever, you know.
How does he communicate with you in a match? Do you have an earpiece, or does he send somebody out, or how's that work in the...
Most of the time, Jimmy just tells me what, you know, I know the finishes, and I know pretty much, you know, what Jimmy wants and what he expects, and how the guys this, that, and the other. I don't have an earpiece or anything like that, but Jimmy just allows me and gives me the freedom to, you know, if I make the call about taking it home, and it, you know, and that's my decision, and I feel that that's what needs to be done, or whatever the case may be during the match. You know, he trusts me enough that he respects my vision of the match in the show, that you know, I just didn't tell somebody to do something for no good reason. You know, he knows that if I tell him to do it, it's a damn good reason behind it, and he trusts my judgment to you know, go ahead and make a call. You know, sometimes he'll send somebody, a security guy around or whatever, and it's kind of hard to do in these indie shows because, you know, you got the crowd so up on you like that, you know what I'm saying? And you can't be, when you're doing a lot of talking, of course I can talk to the guys because, you know, I'm right there on top of them, but it kind of looks kind of odd, you know, a security guy or somebody else coming out and, you know, telling you this and that and the other when, you know, I think that's the relationship me and Jimmy got to be where that, you know, he just trusts my judgment to know that, you know, if I chose to take a match home or go a little longer or whatever the case may be to get a bigger pop, then, you know, he'll ask me about it, of course, and I'll give him my reasons for doing it, and then, you know, he'll accept it and go on. He's not like, you know, he, you know, he's going to be pissed off or raise hell or anything like that. It's just that, you know, he said, man, you came a long ways and you learned a lot about this, and, you know, again, Buckley is a bigger part of a match and a show than they get credit for. You know,
amen to that.
You know,
and that's awesome because on TV, man, you can see the earpiece and you can see the referee's reactions, you know, and facials, I guess, the facial expressions. Anytime, I'm sure, like in the WWF or any of these other ones that are coming up now, man, they got that earpiece in and they're being screamed at the whole time, and it's got to be hard to work that way.
Yeah, it's got to be distracting, you know, to have that voice in you, and you know that you're out there doing, you know, what you're supposed to do, and you're being told to correct somebody else's actions, or whatever. At the same time, you're trying to pay attention to what the match and what's going on and what, you're trying to correct. And then you got things screaming in the ear, you do this, that would be a little intimidating, for us, especially, somebody in the ear, Diane, or something like that, screaming at your ear, you already probably, in that situation, nervous enough, just working when you're working, on top of having, somebody like that in your ear. I don't believe I would, I could adapt to it, I would do actions, but if I had a choice of working with an earpiece and not an earpiece, I'd go without it. It's just we're ranking. That's, the product that the promoter, particular promoter you're working for wants to put across, and what type of match you need it to be, and this, that, and the other, and it's it's good that you have the trust in the promoter and yourself to have that relationship between you, that he knows that you ain't gonna make him do something or ask him to do something without him seeing it or approving it or anything like that. And then, like I said, they ask you that later, you give your reason for it, and if it makes something all the way down the line, then but of course, there's been times I've got my ass chewed for doing things that I thought needed to be done, but they need to be done, but maybe not at that particular time that I did them. You know what I mean? But hey, like Jimmy said, ain't none of us perfect, and we all make mistakes, we're human beings, and just try to remember it the next time you're in that situation and try not to do it again.
That's amazing to earn that kind of trust. Adrian, man, you got anything you want to ask before we have to cut this out?
Nah, I've just been sitting back here and absorbing it all.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Again, thank y'all for having me on, man. It's been a blast, talking about everything.
I love it, man. I'd love to have you back on again. And you have any shows you want to promote?
We're coming up to see. It's let's see, what is it? November 2nd, we'll be in Marsdale. November the 9th, in Pelham, North Carolina. I think November the 16th will be in Rocky Mount. Then I think I've got a couple shows myself coming up outside of two shows for CWF and the Bluesy Wrestling Federation in December. And then pretty much winding it down for the year. But again, thank y'all for having me on, man. Enjoy it. Consider it an honor and privilege to even be asked to be able to do something like this.
Man, honor and privilege to talk to you, man. Nothing but respect, man. You're living the dream.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, I'm definitely living the dream. We're winding the year down, and all the fans will be listening and stuff to listen in on the podcast. Thank y'all for taking out hard money on a weekly basis, man, and all us around from town to town, the ones that do, and even the ones that don't, the ones that show up religiously in the same arenas. They don't go to a lot of towns, but they religiously show up to show and show their support, man. It means a lot to us, and let's just do what we do and have some bumps and bruises and the storm messes and everything along, knowing that at the end of the day, the people got what they paid for and enjoyed it and had a good time, and it's just that's just what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? Loving what you do and performing to their expectations and your expectations, and just doing a good job and trying to be good at what you do. And I think again, like Jimmy Love and Boogie Jimmy Valiant and Bruiser and just all the guys I work with since I've been in the business, to afforded me the constructive criticism and the put me to the side and tell me, give things about what I should do, this and that and this and other. Like I said, if we didn't think none of you and think that you wasn't any good in the business, we wouldn't try to pull you to the side. So don't take the constructive criticism the wrong way. Just take it with a grain of salt and move on, and just keep getting better, because when you get better, we all get better.
That's right. Constructive criticism is the best thing somebody can take. I'll put that out there. A lot of people get mad about it. I'm the type of guy myself that I love it because although it might make me feel bad at the moment, it's going to make me better in the long run. I've always been that way.
Exactly. I mean, if you turn down the stuff, if you turn down the opportunity to listen to somebody give you their side of what they've seen or whatever the case may be, of situation, and you're not smart enough to listen to that and try to use it, then you got to commit a fish to fry. I'm not. People, you shouldn't be telling me this. It ain't the end of the world. Just take it for what it is, and if you can use it, then use it. If you don't think you can use it, still have the respect and stuff to sit there and listen to it, whether you like it or whether you don't. You don't be a crybaby about it. Just be a man and accept it, and because ain't everybody gonna see the canvas the same way. You know what I mean? So it helps to get different opinions on things. Because if you keep don't get the outside opinions about things, you'll never get better. But if you could bring up some things that you need to work on, hey, there's always room for improvement. But
amen to that. I love to sit here and talk to you for another couple hours, man, but it's getting pretty late out here. And
Yes, sir. I'd love to talk to you too, man. Thanks for having me on, man. Again, it's an honor and a privilege, man. And thanks again to all the fans out there, man. And come catch a Pure Pro Wrestling show, man. We try it all around here, so and all over Facebook and social media. So come check us out. Thank y'all again.
Yes, sir. If you ever have anything to promote or say, feel free to hit me up and we'll have you on again.
Okay,
100%.
Please, and y'all take care.
All right, man. Good talking to you.
I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye-bye.
Hey, yo.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the life and times of a pro wrestling referee. Man, and did he have some stories to tell. I loved it.
I loved every bit of it, too. I mean, you didn't hear much of Tater, but out of respect for somebody that's been in the business and doing what he does, I just sat back and let him speak.
Oh, yeah, man. Do it the old school way without an earpiece and just be trusted. Man, that's amazing.
I was following the old adage, speak when spoken to.
Yeah, well, I had to get a few questions in here and there. But
we could have let him ramble on, but
oh yeah, for sure, man. He was a wealth of knowledge, man, and I'll be 100% honest with you. Going into this interview, I didn't know he had been in it as long as he had, and I'll tell you what, man. As long as I've seen him ref matches, I've always liked the guy. He's got my respect now, 100%. Not that I didn't respect him before, but man, that was just such amazing conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I love it, man. The dude knows the business inside and out. Referees do not get their due diligence when it comes to the sport.
No, they don't. Just look at how many iconic referees, like the likes of Mick Patrick, Earl Hebner. Like, we grew up watching these guys.
Randy, Pee Wee Anderson.
And, they're an integral part of the business just as much, if not more so, than the workers.
I've seen referees make guys, and I've seen them save guys. That dreaded X is something no one wants to see, man. But the referee, his job is to make sure pretty much the wrestler doesn't die in the ring.
Yeah.
And he can call the entire match if he wanted to. I'll tell you, man, just to listen to these stories and hear their take on the business, man, I give them just as much as respect as I give the wrestlers, the boys.
Yeah, it just, like I said, they're an integral part.
Yeah, man, and there's been a few that's just been just as over as the wrestlers. He was talking about, I don't know, pretty much the cardio that it takes, man, to be jumping up and down, roughing every single match on the show. I only remember one overweight referee in my life, and I could be wrong. It's the only one I remember, and that was freaking Teddy Long. And by the end of his referee days, he was skinny as can be.
Yeah, with them greasy ass dreadlocks too back in the day.
Oh, he came to referee in the WWE way after that. He got kind of chunky at the end of his WCW run. WWE, he was a manager. WWE hired him as a referee. It looks like during his referee run, he lost all that weight. He became a manager. The likes of Jazz and Rodney Mack. And then, became one of the, in my opinion, one of the greatest general managers of all time. You go on one-on-one with The Undertaker, player. Tag match.
It's going to be a tag team match.
You kind of sound like Jim Cornette there.
It's going to be a tag team match. The Undertaker and Kane versus two people nobody gives a fuck about.
Jim Cornette, we love you, but Adrian, if Jim Cornette was to put over a referee, what would it sound like?
God damn! He's not part of this Outlaw Mud show, motherfucker. At least he doesn't run around with his goddamn hands in his fucking pocket.
Oh,
and he's not wrestling 9-year-old girls.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, man, Bobby G, you're the man, 100% respect. And can't wait to see you again at the next Pure Pro show I get to go to. You want to talk about anything current before we get off here?
Possibility of Tessa Blanchard leaving Impact is something that I saw today.
Well, my honest opinion is I hope if she does leave Impact and decides to go somewhere else, she doesn't go to the WWE, at least right now. The women's division is so stacked there. I believe she'd get lost in the shuffle. And my opinion is AEW's women division, although they got some good workers, it leaves a little bit to be desired. And they could use somebody like her to build that division up. She could work with Rio, Awesome Kong, Nyla Rose, Dr. Britt Baker, and I believe she'd put that women's division on the map. And her daddy works there.
I mean, yeah, I honestly think that if she goes into the WWE, she's going to get buried.
I don't know about buried, but kind of lost in the shuffle. Like, she could be over. Kind of like Jack Swagger or Rusev was back with Rusev Day. That was over as could be, but they did nothing with it. Like, I don't know, man. Gail Kim got buried her second run. Wow, she got buried. But I'd love, everyone's dream match is going to be her versus Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
But I think it should be 5 years from now and not today. I think she needs to build her name up a little more. A good AEW run or even in the NWA. NWA would be perfect too, just for the namesake. Hell yeah. Where would you like to see her wind up?
AEW.
I'm down with that. And like I said, NWA as a second alternative, just because it's the NWA. It's a freaking amazing ass nostalgic studio show. I've been watching it religiously.
And it wouldn't take Tully much convincing to bring Tessa aboard.
If Tessa Blanchard somehow is listening to this show, and I know she is, because we're awesome. Please, we're begging you as fans. Go somewhere where you can build your brand up, your name, and become the biggest star in the world, where WWE will have to use you the correct way, and the money will come. And AEW could probably offer you just as good money as WWE. Take that.
And you would have more creative freedom too, instead of having Vince breathing down your neck.
I just feel like the WWE would pay you extremely well, but not bury the fuck out of you, but not use you to your full potential. And I'm kind of bummed because I wanted to see Tessa Blanchard win the Impact World Championship. Oh my God, her matches against men were amazing, groundbreaking. Yeah, a few low blows here and there, but that's part of the game. I mean, it's storytelling. I'll tell you what, though. Before we end this show, I know it's gone on pretty long. Let's dive into real quick. Internet fans. Everybody is at each other's throats. Dude, I'm loving, and I don't sound like it with what I just said, but I'm loving the WWE and AEW and NWA and Impact and MLW. I just love wrestling. Everyone's like, oh, you're on this team, I'm on this team, blah, 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 blah. And they're insulting each other and cussing each other out. What's the deal with internet fans these days?
Why can't just people let it be? And if people prefer one product over another, just don't shit on people for liking something else.
MVP put on Twitter a week or two ago, nobody hates wrestling more than wrestling fans. That was his tweet. And if you read social media, sometimes it makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Anytime I see someone bitching too much, I just type in, it's a great time to be a wrestling fan. It is, dude. I ain't had this much fun with wrestling since, like, at least the Ruthless Aggression WWE era, and that's pushing it.
Yeah.
WCW and the Attitude Era, that was the best time in my life. But right now, I'm having just as much fun as I did as a kid. It's 100%. Man, I don't know the word I want to use. Wrestling is taking back over. It's going to happen. Back then, you used to see wrestling shirts in school. People would be writing wrestlers' names on their binders and shit like that. Everywhere you go, someone had a wrestling shirt on. Shit, the ratings were like in the 6 million or more.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what happened. Well, yeah, WCW died, and all downhill from there.
And here's something else. Eric Bischoff getting canned.
That was bullshit. He wasn't there long enough to have a damn chance.
No, he didn't. But I'm not going to shit on Bruce Pritchard.
No, man, they're friends. They both spoke out on it. I'll put it like this: if Bischoff was behind the Who Shot Roman storyline, and they canned him now, and they killed that fucking storyline quick. Like, there was no payoff to it, really. Somebody fucked up.
Just saw an article that said WWE confirms Rusev's arrest on Monday.
Yeah, I watched Raw, and he attacked Lana and Bobby Lashley in a restaurant. Yeah, they said they released him today.
So he legit got arrested.
No, it's storyline.
I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, dude, when he came in that restaurant, like 50 cops showed up at once. There's no way. Yeah, it's all storyline, dude. He's still wearing his wedding band and all that. And he talked about why he's still wearing it. What is it with Vince McMahon and cuckolds, man? Like, does he have a cuck fetish or something?
He might be a cuck. He might.
I mean, he made out with Trish Stratus right in front of his sedated wife back in the day. I'm not complaining about this cuckold storyline because I dealt with a whole lot worse back in the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
But the way they pull it off just seems kind of cheesy these days. And maybe it's because I'm grown now and I wasn't back then, but...
I got one word, necrophilia.
Yeah. And Katie Vick and shit, musical chairs. They play musical chairs on WWE TV.
Yeah, that make no sense.
But I mean, they the highest grossing wrestling promotion in the world right now. I mean, business wise, Vince done something right. Oh, it is what it is. I'll be disappointed as can be in WWE for weeks. And they'll pull some badass awesome shit that'll get me hooked again, only to be let down again.
Yeah, the Eric Bischoff firing, that sort of, he didn't even last 83 days.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that should be his new podcast, 83 Days.
And, okay, Crown Jewel's coming up. Halloween, the day of Halloween.
Yeah, it looks like, I don't know. We can go on for hours, man.
Yeah, time for some more sweet, salty money.
I'm all right with Cain Velasquez as long as he gets in there and trains and he's committed. The boxer, I don't know how they're gonna fucking book that. Like, what are they gonna do? Have some boxer, some outsider come in and knock out their biggest fucking beast in the company? Their guy? What's that gonna do for him but bury him? And he's not gonna be a fucking monster no more. Like, Braun's the man in WWE. How the fuck they gonna just have him get knocked out?
Yeah, it'll be like that whole Butterbean fiasco.
Bully Ray said a couple times, actually, that what if, like, they had a bunch of guys come out as soon as the match starts, like the Revival and a few other guys, and they're like, no, fuck this. You're taking our spots. And then Braun and the boxer, Tyson Fury, they team up and take out them wrestlers, some smaller guys. That's the only way that angle could work without, like, absolutely shitting on Braun Strowman.
Yeah, and they end up becoming a decent tag team.
I don't know if they'd be a tag team or not because Tyson Fury's got, like, a legit heavyweight boxing title match coming up. Like, there's no way he's going to come out and get hurt.
No.
But I don't see WWE letting Braun Strowman just get knocked the fuck out either. Maybe they need someone like Bobby Gardner, Bobby G, to come in and rectify the situation.
Yeah, good old Chef Bobby G.
And for those of y'all don't get the chef reference, we're taters and ribs, and last show we had cornbread and buttermilk on. We need Chef Bobby G to manage us, at least for one match. I don't know. He can manage the match, and
yeah, he could manage and tell us what to do while we're getting our asses kicked by cornbread and buttermilk.
no, we're not wrestling cornbread and buttermilk. We're in their corner on their team. Damn it, Jimmy Parker, J.R. Martin, Power Trip, cornbread, buttermilk, taters and ribs. We're coming for you. You're gonna rue the day. Nothing but love.
I got a few potatoes to throw at you.
Throw them taters, boy. Throw them taters. I'll be hiding under the ring or behind the skirt and ribbing them right in front of the crowd,
tripping them up while they're running while they're chasing me.
Hey, I could get some fishing line and do some crazy stuff in the wrestling ring, and they'll never see it.
Fishing.
Yeah, dude. They'll just be turning their back, man, and me and you will take some fishing line and just run it from rope to rope and get them to run at us or something on the other side and trip the fuck out of them.
And I go in with the finger poke at them.
Yeah, something like that. No hand grenades.
No fireballs at my dick.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Taters and Ribs. We had an awesome conversation with Bobby G. Nothing but respect to the refs, man. We talk wrestling. We love wrestling. And I hope after this show, you know the referees are just as part of the show, or almost sometimes bigger than the actual wrestlers, because they make this show work. Without the referees, you have nothing.
Yep.
All right, Tater. Next week or the week after?
Yeah. And remember, kids, shoot your local heroin dealer.
Yeah, definitely do that. Yeah, that's no good. And go to the next Pure Pro Wrestling show.
Yep. On the same, while you're on your way to your next PPW show, shoot your local heroin dealer. 2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah, respect. Jimmy Love and all them boys, especially his hardest working referee, Bobby G.
Yep.
Taters and Ribs out, as Jim Cornette would say. Thank you.
God damn.
Thank you. Fuck you. Bye, motherfucker.